send an email to cammira@schools.nyc.gov. In your email, be sure to include your name, ISID or your school, and your title, along with the issue that or concern you may have. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you. We will start your lesson to return to the message complete. You have been transferred to the attendance.
Hello, I'm trying to reach Ms. Ambarati.
Right now,
Is this Miss Mohammed?
yes.
Oh, wow, we got the third time's the charm. I've already left you 2 messages in the last week or so. It's Mrs. Weber. Remember me? Yeah, remember me? I called many times and left messages because my husband sent an email with all of the prescribed details covered in it on December 9th. Hasn't heard anything back yet. Yes.
Hi, guys. It seems to me, I could be wrong, but it seems to me like a lot's going on.
Not even acknowledging.
It's the 21st of December. Today is supposed to be a kind of an amazing day galactically. So, yeah. Hey guys, I'm just waiting. I think things are going to get quiet here in a minute. I don't know. Hey Patricia, I want to apologize to Scruffster and Patricia. I put you in contact with this other person. I didn't know it was going to be a commercial thing. I hope that's not blowing you guys out of the water. I didn't really intend for that to happen. Snowing like crazy, really. Yes, so Scruffster, did you hear what I said about, I hope that I made the contact with the person. I didn't really intend for this to be like a major, thing. I just was making contacts and, anyway, whatever. I'm trying to update the whole system. I'm working on some things. I'm trying to get this like Zoomized, or I'm trying to get a lot of things. I'm trying to move forward here, but it seems to me, I mean, before we start with the Torah section, it seems to me that what I'm seeing on Telegram, all is good. Okay, good. Patricia, you're okay? I didn't put you in a bad spot. I guess you have to be, I'm learning you have to be tough. Haven't had a problem. Okay, good. I mean, she's a very nice person. I just didn't know, she's very aggressive also. I mean, which is fine. I mean, it's just not my style. So I don't want to put you guys in a bad place for an unexpected, having to deal with unexpected things. Anyway, cool. I'm sorry about the noise. It'll be quiet here, I think, in a minute. Let's see if we should.
Do you know her first initial or name?
My wife is battling the forces of the Department of Education, where she's trying to get like somebody to admit they made a mistake. She's spent hours on the phone, days on the phone trying to get somebody. And whenever you reach somebody, they say they can't do it. Nobody can do it. Nobody can like switch like a mistake that they made. Like no one wants to take responsibility for it. And this is really the Kabbalah at its best. Like something that could just be like, okay, yeah, I made a mistake, fix it. I'll fix it. No big deal. I mean, if you came to somebody in your house, right? And somebody said, I really need a cup of coffee, and nobody else wanted to make it, you'd make them a cup of coffee. I mean, but that's not how the Department of Education works. It works on, it's not me, it's not my problem. you know, they have all these layers of employees that can't like change a light bulb. Anyway, that's my complaint for today. I hope you can hear me. There's a lot of interference. My family is up and around, and I really don't want to move because I have everything here. If I have to go upstairs, it's a big problem. Okay, cool, Lisa. Lisa, are you sensing like that we're about to go through a huge shift? I mean, I just feel like from you know, I've been monitoring this for a couple of years, and it just seems like the chatter. You know, I know it's December 21st, and there's like a big some kind of galactic thing going on, but I just feel like QFS is about to jump into action. I feel like, you know, we could be like heading for a lockdown. I don't know. I just feel like something is about to happen.
Okay, but this time can somebody actually?
Yeah, the sky is telling. Yeah. What are you seeing in the sky?
I've left scores of messages. Nobody returns my phone calls, and it's very hard to get you or somebody else to pick up in that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So you guys are all right with it. I'll try to focus.
One out of every 5 calls that doesn't go to voicemail.
Yeah, Michael Sala. Yeah, cool. I just hope it's XRP, man. Actually, it won't matter. Once this thing clicks in, it won't matter. No one ever takes responsibility, right? It's like for weeks we've been like, all you have to do is change like one little thing. They're like 3 days they missed. It's not a biggie. Anyway, long streaks. You're getting the trails. Yeah. I don't know why that's still going on. I just don't understand it. I mean, it's if the white hats are in control, who is running those airplanes? Because Lisa, if you look in a couple of hours, you'll see the whole sky will turn into a checkerboard. That's what Rob taught me. And that means, I don't know what it means. It means there's stuff in the atmosphere that's not good for us. Okay, thanks. All right, so I also can't focus right now. It'll wait till my wife's off. She's a retired opera singer, and her voice is very clear.
Do you think we'll hear back from her today with just simple information on how to get in touch with Ms. Brown?
Nobody ever takes responsibility, right?
Or at least what's
so I just think there's a lot going on.
Exact name of her
and start looking up. Yeah, I think you're right, Lisa. I mean, I didn't do it until Rob told me. He says, look for streaks in the sky. And then you'll notice, he said it looks like soup in the sky. It looks like vegetable soup. But what I see is checkerboards. Like, let me look outside New York. It's getting cloudy. I didn't get to see them. You know, then it gets thick clouds and you can't see it. But as it's forming, it turns into these checkerboards that I've never seen before. I've lived here for 60 odd years, and I've never seen a checkerboard sky before. So maybe I wasn't looking in the last years. I don't know. But my father always used to tell me to look for a mackerel sky. That'll tell you it's about to rain. But this is not a mackerel sky.
If y'all want to stop hearing from me, then just, the sooner the better. Then you will stop hearing from me. Because as long as I have no other person.
My wife was trained as some kind of, she was a community organizer, and
so the sooner somebody
she knows how to get under your skin. I can testify. She's very talented that way.
Thank you so much.
She doesn't take no for an answer. Okay.
Okay, how late is your office open there? How late is your office open yet? So, like, if I know if it's 4 o'clock and I haven't heard from you, you all are gone for the day, or if it's 5 o'clock and I haven't heard from you, all are gone for the day. How late is your office open?
On January, what day?
No, I know, but how late is your office open today?
Oh, January 1? I see TH, January TH.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Muhammad. All the best. Have a good day. All right. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, 6. Okay, cool. No, I didn't know, but yeah, I think a lot's going on. I think we're going to hear some information soon. Okay, let's just get started. So today's Torah portion, I think, is like, it's one of those like really strange Torah portions that you think that I think to myself, why did they put this in the book? Why would you show Moses killing somebody. I mean, why would you do that? It's just, and it just shows you that the Torah is not understandable in terms of like normal consciousness. It's an elevated, I believe, writing from a higher source, and it's just weird. It's just such a weird thing. So Moses, I'm just going to recap the basic story here. Third reading. Today is Tuesday, right? So in those days, the precocious Moshe was elevated by Paro to be the position of overseer in his personal household, just like Joseph. He was the boss of the house. Bidya was very fond of Moses and influenced her father to appoint him in this position. Some years later, when he was 18, he went out to his brethren and observed their suffering. So he goes out into the world and he sees an Egyptian taskmaster striking one of the fellow Jews. They call them fellow Hebrews. I mean, whatever. For his taskmaster to beat this Jew constantly. After he would awaken the Jew before daylight to go to work, he would slip into his house and consort with his wife, who thought it was her husband. I mean, Jewish people keep pretty strict rules about what's permissible between a husband and a wife, and it's supposed to be in a dark room, but I can't imagine that the woman didn't know it wasn't her husband. I mean, that seems pretty fishy to me. Not to make this an X-rated Torah portion, but the Jew eventually discovered what was happening. When the taskmaster realized that the Jew knew what he was doing, he began to beat him every day. So the Jew's wife's nickname was Shalomit bat Debri. I don't know what the significance of that is, but that's not the text of the. It's not the text. It's not in the text of the Torah. This is in the white lines in between the black lines. The explanation that makes it understandable. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think I mean, from my puny experience as a human being on the planet, I tend to think that people respond differently even in the dark. It would be pretty easy to tell one from another. I don't doubt that for a second. I mean, really. Okay, so Moses figured out what was happening, and he found out that the Jew was getting beat every day. This wasn't just like a one-time thing. This guy was doing it every day, and this is interesting. He perceived prophetically that there was no one from the taskmaster's descendants destined to convert to Judaism. Wow. So he decided to kill him. That's also pretty out there. He could see all his ancestors were not going to be Jewish, so therefore to Moses, he didn't feel like the taskmaster, that anyone would really miss him. And I don't know if anybody saw my video this morning, but I really got very granular and a little bit like strong sounding. I don't need this anymore. I sounded very strong. I was very strong about the Noahide laws, because there are people in the public eye that are saying things like, we're from the lost tribes and we're the real Jews, and I'm like, really? I mean, I've heard this kind of thing before. Like, I had a guy at work years ago who took me aside. He said, you guys do a lot of things. You're pretty serious for if you're really the fake Jews, you're really doing a lot of work, and I'm like, yeah, it's really not so easy. And then he asked me if he was going to go to up or down, and I said, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so that was my experience. But anyway, I think you'll like what I said about Noahide, the Noahide folks. Would you mind terribly turning the radio off? I'm in a live meeting. Would you
I'm on
mind?
hold.
Oh, okay.
I have to be able to hear when they pick up.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so Moses investigated what was happening. He turned this way and discovered that the Egyptian was beating the Jew every day. And he turned and discovered, about the wife. He just perceived prophetically that there was no one from the taskmaster's descendants destined to convert to Judaism. Look at that. So he decided to kill him. I mean, this is really out there, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Torah was written to be like a public, what's the word? Like a public, like a public relations manual, they wouldn't put this in. Like in the other book, I've never really read the other book, but I'm just thinking that they present their main guy as like, he's perfect. He's always perfect. I don't think, and that is not in Torah. Torah, we went through with Jacob and Joseph, and, these guys are real people. I'm not saying they have a Yetzer Hara, but hey, Tara, I'm apologizing also to you also, because I don't know if my friend was too aggressive that I hooked you guys up with. I just did that sort of as a passing idea. No problem, Tara. So anyway, I'm just apologizing if it caused you any hardship. But she's very well meaning, but she's very strong, and that could be a little off putting. I don't know. Good person. Anyway, he turned this way and he said, okay, so, but two Jews saw him killing this guy. So when he went the next day to do whatever he did, that was, he was on his way, he saw these two Jewish guys, and it was Dathan and Aviram. We're going to deal with them later. These are like real characters. These are like real, kind of like bad boys. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are hooked up with each other. Oh, you did see it disappeared? Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, you guys are going to bring the redemption. I'm pretty sure of that. And the Rebbe said that apparently there was a stack of sichas that the Rebbe wrote about Noahide laws. Okay, thanks, Tara. Thank you. Okay, so two Jews had indeed. Okay, so these two guys, this Dasan and Aviram, you should remember their names, because these are like local characters. They're going to appear later in the story. So they said, they confronted Moses, and they said, you killed this Egyptian guy, now you're going to kill us. They were actually quarreling. Yeah. Oh yeah. He saw these two guys quarreling. Okay, so Dustin and Aviram, these local bad boys, were quarreling, and so one of them raised his hand to hit the other, and Moses said to this wicked person, they say wicked. This is in the dark letters, the word wicked. I don't know if you can see that, but like that's the real text. That's the real taich. That's the real translation. So they were bad boys, and he says, "What, are you going to kill us now too?" And who appointed you as leader and judge over us? You were just a boy. Do you intend to kill me as you killed the Egyptian? Frightened. Excuse me. Moses said, "So the fact that I killed an Egyptian is known. Pharaoh will hear this, and he will execute me." Besides this, however, Moshe was also afraid that his brother, listen to this. Now, this is a real leader. This is Moses. He says he was not just afraid that he was going to get killed by Pharaoh. He was also afraid that his brethren, that these two guys, these two bad boys, wouldn't be deemed righteous enough to be redeemed. And that's a real leader. That you don't get that from the resident or any of his ilk of the of all the Kabbalah players. You don't see them like worried about other human beings at all, and that's not called a leader. So Paro heard about the incident. Oh, because they ratted him out. Because these bad boys ratted out Moses, and Paro was going to kill Moses. And this really makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why? Because you know here we have Paro wants to kill Moses. Now, does he not recognize him when he comes back later? He's going to leave for a while. Moses is going to get out of town, get out of Dodge, but he's going to come back and he's going to tell Paro, you have to let my people go. Does he not remember who this guy is? I don't think so. I mean, there are a lot of they're a little. That's why you need commentary to understand Torah. Okay. Anyway, so he had him tried, but although Moses had a speech impediment, there's another thing. The guy has a speech impediment. Really? It's just like that's why I love Torah. It's so like human. It's so honest. Like everybody is real. And that's the beauty of life, man. And that's why you guys are like, everyone is perfect, just being who they are. You don't have to be somebody else, you know? Don't even think about it. I had to try for 20 years. I had to be somebody else. I had to go and try to be who they wanted me to be at work. And I was just like, I can't do it. I don't know how. Excuse me. I think I have this, that Omni thing. It must be. It has all the, it's just, everybody in my shul has it. It's probably this. And this is what happened with COVID. We all got it. It was, we were sick. But, if they got you into the hospital, whatever. I don't want to, I don't have to take this down. But anyway, so Moses left from Paro. Paro wanted to pronounce him guilty, but God struck him dumb. That's interesting. That you wouldn't get in a regular translation. Paro then tried to mumble his intentions to his ministers. He made him dumb, and he tried to speak, but God made the ministers deaf. This is not in the plain text. You won't get this. This is the only translation where you're going to get this kind of thing. Paro motioned to the executioners to kill Moses, but miraculously the executioner's sword was unable to harm him. God made the executioners blind, and thus Moses ran away. I mean, yeah, I think it's all the Omni, whatever it is. So he fled to Ethiopia, where he joined the army, advancing through its ranks until 9 years later he was crowned king. Now, I never heard this before. In the regular Chumash, you don't hear this. Moses ran away to Ethiopia. He joined the army. He became their king. He remained in Ethiopia for 40 years. Oh, I know. It's ridiculous. I'm so sorry, Richard. Yeah, it's so hard to find this channel. I mean, Richard, I'm working. I'm trying to figure out a solution to this. What I'm planning to. I'm meeting with somebody tomorrow about forming a big email list, and then I can just Zoom to whoever's on the email list. We don't have to deal with YouTube anymore, and it would be much easier if we could see each other anyway. And you could block it out if you don't want to show your face or whatever. I respect that, but I can't deal with this cat and mouse game with YouTube. It could be that things are about to change. It feels like things are about to change, and then everything will be as normal as it won't be normal. Somebody said something really great to me today. Somebody sent me an email, and he promised he sort of asked me not to use his name, so I'm not going to use his name, but he said, in the end, everything's going to be good. So if everything is not good, we're not at the end yet. I thought that was a pretty interesting comment. Sty, yeah. Right. I don't think this is a natural bug. I mean, it's affecting me differently than a natural. I mean, the good thing about this variety, what are they called, variant, is that it doesn't seem to like slow me down mentally, and that I really appreciate. I mean, it is kind of a weird cold, but and it affects my chest just like the other one did. Anyway, this is just so juicy. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you guys are like are into this too, because if you read the regular Chumash, you miss all these connecting details. So he ran away. That was the year 2418, while Moses was king of Ethiopia. I mean, did you guys ever see The Man Who Would Be King with Sean Connery? It reminds me of that. Yeah, yeah, man. Richard, you're always on the money. Uh, Certain families of the tribe of Ephraim. Okay, so while Moses was king of Ephraim of Ethiopia, certain families of the tribe of Ephraim, assuming that the 400 years prophesied the covenant between the halves began as soon as the covenant was made in 2018, concluded that they were over. Does this not fit exactly with what's going on today? In other words, they figured out for their calculations that redemption was that their slavery was over, just like we figured out last September 6th that it was enough already, enough of these bad boys. And here it is a year later, and nothing, a lot has changed, but we can't necessarily see it. Hence my conclusion is that man's knowledge is not all it's cracked up to be. So anyway, so he was concluded that mistakenly believing that the time of the redemption had arrived, 30,000 armed men from his tribe left Egypt and set out for the land of Israel. They went to the Holy Land. This is all between the lines. You won't get this, you won't get this in your regular channel. This is the unedited version of Chumash. They took money with them, but no provisions, assuming that they would either buy food with the Philistines or conquer their country. But the Philistines divided them and killed them all. They went too early. They got out of, they thought it was time for redemption, and they all split. They said, we're out, man. And they were all destroyed. This is really a lesson for us. Like, we have to wait. Just like this guy said to me, in the end, it will all be good. If it's not all good, you're not at the end. And that's exactly what happened here with these guys from Ephraim. They thought it was time for redemption. Moses was gone, and they got themselves all, suited up. They got their bows and arrows. I have to say that, like, I mean, I would only tell you guys because you are my true loves. Um, that I, as like my weapon of choice in terms of my soul. I'm not saying that I actually own a weapon, but in my mind, whenever I think of like getting back at somebody who hurt me, I always think of a bow and arrow. I must have been around. I must be an incarnation of somebody who had a bow and arrow, because I don't really relate to guns that way. I don't think of like shooting somebody. It's just out of my imagination. But I always think of a bow and arrow. Yeah, we are the white hats. That's exactly right, Rob. 100%. We are the we have to be. I think Rob, do you get the sense that the EBS is about to happen or something? I just feel like something's about to drop. I'm from the chatter I'm looking at on Telegram. Anyway, let's keep going. Um, I hope are you hearing all the honking outside and everything? I mean, this is just crazy. Living in Brooklyn, I don't recommend it. You have to be a certain kind of person. Of the EBS, that means they're going to use the emergency broadcast system to circumvent the regular media when I mean, this is one type of the plan, yeah, that locking down America. That could be really that could be part of this whole thing. That could be part of the we should discuss this because this is important. If you do get locked down for 10 days, this is a sign that the white hats are in control and they're going to arrest whoever's left. I saw pictures of arrests in El Salvador. They arrested all the gang members. I saw movies of it. Winter solstice. Yeah, this is a big day. It's like, I'm hearing from all the, is for good for cleanup. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. My son, they were going to some kind of trampoline thing or some kind of thing. All his people. He's 20, but they were all the whole school was going to go away, and he says, "I'm staying home." And they were like, "Well, why do you want to stay home?" He says, "I want to clean my room." That's so amazing. So he cleaned his room last night. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't really see that. I'm not with you on that one. I don't hold eye to eye with that, but um, let's just see if we can take care of this. What's going on here? Okay, so yeah, so a lot's going on. Yeah, so we won't have to worry about that anymore because I figured out how to control the chat board. I realize, like, I always consider myself to be a technological nobody, but I've done a lot with technology, and I'm advising the teachers on how to do things online. They wanted to go out and collect funds on street corners, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think that's really the right way to do it. I mean, everyone's sitting at home anyway. Who the heck is on the street corners? So, well, you guys don't have street corners where you live. Uh, okay. So, I mean, you do, but it's not the same as a street corner in Brooklyn. Anyway, so this whole adventure with Moses. Now another part of this thing, and I hope I'm not going too long on this because I just because this is all new to me. But okay, so the people from Ephraim, they got killed out. 30,000 guys got wasted in the year 2434. At the age of 67, Moses left Ethiopia and settled in Midian. Now, here's another story that you won't hear. I don't know if it's here. I think I already got this. But apparently, another detail that's left out of most translations and most commentaries, it says, I read it somewhere in this text, that when Moses came to Jethro, to Yisro, he told him that he was king of Ethiopia, and Yisro put him in jail for 10 years. I mean, you don't hear this. This is all like strange stuff, right? So you get it here, man. This is a great hummus. Okay, so that's it. So yeah, so then he goes and he became Jethro or Yisro, Pharaoh's former advisor, had become the ruler of Midian after he fled after he ran away from Pharaoh. Why did he run away? Above on 10:10. Okay, for some reason, I skipped a few lines and I'm like, totally, I don't know where I am. So when Moses left Ethiopia, Miriam married Caleb, son of Yefunah, from the tribe of Yehuda, and they had a son who they named Hur. in the year 2434, okay, so he came back and he sat down by the well and he met Zipporah. And I'm just going to keep reading this. Yisro, Paro's former advisor, had become the ruler of Midian after he fled from Paro. But when he realized the folly of idolatry, he renounced the idolatrous religion of Midian. Because of this, the Midians disposed him and ostracized him. So he had 7 daughters and no sons, and since the Midianites had ostracized him, his daughters had to tend to the flocks, so they became shepherdesses. They came to this, so they were in Midian. I guess they had to leave Mitzrayim. Everyone's running away. And the shepherds came and drove them away because their family had been excommunicated. So they were bad boys in Midian. So Moses went and helped them out. And as soon as he started to draw water from the well, the well water miraculously rose on his own. Yeah, between a Hebrew and a Jew, I don't know what the difference is. I think it's just like a poor English translation. The guys who translated this, God love them, they did an amazing job. This book is like, bar none, is the best Chumash I've ever seen. Not that I've seen every Chumash, but I've seen a lot of Chumashim, and this is the best translation, bar none. But they were still educated, like my son is educated in yeshivas, and so their translations into English are not always sensitive to. See, this is what my wife does. This is my wife's job. My wife is a proofreader, and what she does, because we're from the secular world, and she has a very good college education, and also she's smart. She's very, very, very smart, which is why I can't get away with anything, and that's why God put us together. Probably, she's always on to me, but she's incredibly smart. But she is able to. She tells these, she's dealing with these brilliant rabbis, and the brilliant rabbis want to just get like sort of corny with their English language, but they're writing things for college kids because she works for Jewish Learning Institute. I don't know if you guys know about that. Hi, Irene. Anybody know about the JLI? It's a very good, if you ever get to take a course on the Jewish Learning Institute, they have great courses. But my wife is the head proofreader for that organization. And she's constantly fighting these brilliant rabbis who want to translate things into English in ways that she knows college kids will just go like, what is with these people? Anyway, so he saves the 7 daughters, and they come home to their pops. They say, Dad, an Egyptian man rescued us from the hands of the shepherds, and he drew water for us, and he watered the flocks. Yisro, having studied the traditions of the Jewish people and searched for religious truth, knew that water had ascended from the well for Jacob and Rachel. He thus recognized Moses as one of their people, a monotheistic Israelite, whom he could take for a son-in-law. So again, by the water, man. And remember, Moses is a water guy. His birthday? When is his birthday? I don't know what sign Moses is. Wasn't he born right before Passover? I don't know. I'll have to check that. I'll check. He therefore asked, maybe you guys know, therefore asked his daughters, so where is he? Where did you leave him? Let's get him something to eat. He needs some kosher food. Perhaps he will marry one of you, just as Joseph, I don't even know what this word is. Euphemistically, that's what I'm talking about. These rabbis, these brilliant rabbis, their translation into English is subpar. Euphemistically referred to as, you need such a big word to poke. I'm like a frustrated writer, so it's like, since I never succeeded, I feel like I have to criticize everybody else. Just as Joseph euphemistically referred to Potiphar's wife as the bread he eats, right? Did you guys ever get that Potiphar's wife, that tried to sleep with Joseph, was referred to as his bread, the man's bread. And so bringing Moses to get something to eat means to hook up with one of his daughters. This is like this kind of thing, bread, you know. Sorry, guys. She sounds amazing. Yeah, she is amazing, but whatever. I mean, it's not what Disney wanted, man. It's not a Disney. It's not a Disney. Like, it's not. It's like, God knows that I have issues, and He knew exactly who to put me with, and it's not always like it's not something that's always very pleasant for me, but it's good. It's not always, what's the word? It's not always. It's good, but it's not always easy. Okay, let's put it that way. But I think that's true of any marriage. Anyway, when Zipporah gave birth to a son, he named him Gershon, meaning a stranger. Okay, for I've been a stranger in an alien land, like a ger shun, that somebody who's comes to Judaism and converts is called a ger. So the fourth slave, I'm going to get one more paragraph. I don't know how I'm doing with time, but I find this story like, oh, I'm going very long. I'm really sorry, but the thing with like I'm finding is like, forget about Kabbalah, man. It's like the story is so rich. Yeah, I know. God find, you think like, like I have all this hashgacha practice, in my life. I have all this divine providence. Like things just happen, like, like with my bank account, like, that just miracles happen. Okay, so I figure, God's, controls every part of my life. Oh, the 7th of Adar. Okay, he died. He was born and he died. Right, Patricia. Thank you. So that would make him a Aries, wouldn't it? I think I would make him an Aries, make him a Ram. I bought a house with an Aries once. Man, was she tough to live with? But anyway, so you think like, okay, so God knows exactly what He's doing, but maybe with my partner, He might have made a mistake. That's human thinking. No, He doesn't make mistakes. Anyway, so it was during those years that Moshe lived in Midian and was the king of Egypt, figuratively died. He contracted leprosy, which is allegorically compared to death. To alleviate his suffering, and this is one of these, this is Kabbalah stuff, he had Jewish children slaughtered and bathed in their blood. Adrenochrome again. Here we go again with adrenochrome. And the Jews cried out. God heard their anguished outcry, and God recalled His covenant. Like God didn't remember. Like, what was God sleeping? God looked at the Jews, and God took note. Having decided that it was time to be redeemed, God had to select a redeemer. So He noticed. Okay, so the natural choice was Amram, who was Moses' father. Oh, and he asked Aaron if he would be the leader, and Aaron said no. But he saw Moses when Moses was tending to his flocks, and Patricia probably already knows this. But when he was tending his flocks, there was one little Shepsela that got away, and it ran away, and it ran to like a pond or a stream or something because it was thirsty. And Moses understood that the little lamb, the little Shepsel, was worn out from running away because he was so thirsty. So Moses picked up the Shepsela and he put it on his back and he carried it back, and God saw that. I like that, Richard. Yeah. It's they say that God gives you a partner keneged, and keneged translates as against. So it says God will find you a wife keneged, like a keneged wife, a wife against you. And what does it mean? It means that Your wife is there to shine on all your impurities. So until you become perfectly radiant soul, she will like help reflect the areas in your, in your personality that need to be fixed. And also, that's why you have to get married, because guys on their own might be misled into thinking that that they can think, that they know something, that they're okay. That's why you have to get married, so you have somebody to remind you, you know what, you need some work, buddy. uh, yeah, Moses talked to the right. Yeah, that was his downfall. I'm not sure what that sign means, Rob, but it takes a lot not to rush into anger. Yeah, right. But you're saying two things, Alexander. I'm not sure if you're saying to fight or not. It takes a lot to rush, not to rush into anger. Anything is possible when you focus on Hashem. Don't quit fighting. Right. Okay. So I see what you're saying. But you're not saying anger. You're saying fighting. Pisces. Oh, he was a Pisces. Uh-huh. Leo? Yeah. Adar? Adar 2. It's the second, right? It was the second Adar? I think it was. We have this year, we have two Adars. Oh, lion. Okay. Yeah, that must have been, I can't imagine having a father who was a Leo. That must have been really tough. Uh, wow, I'm really stuffed up today. This thing is like it presents different things on different days. Not natural. Okay, let me just jump into, okay, so that's the basic. Oh, and this is where the footnote comes from that really makes, and this is where I'm thinking about Noachide. This is, and okay, so let me just read this footnote, because I read this to a friend of mine who's a rabbi, and it didn't sound familiar to him. He also drew water for us. So the Zipporah and the daughters are saying he drew water for us. As was explained above, Moses hailed from the world of Tohu, alluded to by water, and his mandate was to draw the chesed of Tohu into the Gevurah of the present order of Tikkun. So this, remember when we dealt with Asev, that Asev was on a higher energy level than Yaakov, and so too Moses has this association with water and with Tohu that has to be brought into the vessels of Tikkun, but he has to go from Tohu of Chesed to Tikkun of Gevurah. And if you still have access to my course, there could be other ways to do it, but I mean, I give you like the last tape in my course. Probably you'd have to like listen to it about 1,000 times to get all the language down, just the vocabulary. Esav, yeah, Esau, Esau. Yeah, I get in trouble at shul when I say Esau. They say, "You mean Asev?" Thanks, Patricia. Okay, so let me. I probably knocked out most of the time, unless you guys have any questions. But that's really it for today's Chumash. Now, let me just at least just open up, get a little bit of Tanya in. Tuesday. Uh, oh, so here's the takeaway from today's Tanya. There are tzaddikim, holy people, who act in every instance in accordance with Torah just because it is the will of God, not because of spiritual reward or any personal benefit. Now, this is so condescending, and they say, "Let's try it occasionally." Okay, that's the That's not from the Alter Rebbe. Okay, so continuing from yesterday's Tanya, a description of the rare level achieved by tzaddikim called Bnei Aliyah, those who have achieved ascension, referring to the idea that their sole interest in work is for the higher one with no personal agenda. So, no, I don't. I'm completely, at this point in my life, I'm completely immersed in trying to figure out the internet. I'm very, and trying to figure out when, I feel like, like when I go into the woods, I'm always the one who scouts out. I'm the one who it used to be anyway. Now that I can't keep up with my son anymore, I'm not the same. But it used to be that I would like be the one in front. I'm a scout. So what I'm trying to tell the guys in my synagogue is like, I know more than you do about this medical treatment, but the normies just can't really get it yet. But I feel like that's part of my shlichus, part of my service to God is to be on the internet. Like I'm not made for sitting in synagogue and learning all day. It's not for me. I maybe some point in my life I'll be there, but I'm not there yet. Okay, so yeah, so go to my web. Thank you. You could just send me an email, Irene. That's the best way. Um, yeah, I have a website called Torah Prophecy with an S. The prophecies I don't know if I misspelled it or not. My wife said it was with an S, but then she that was talking about something else. Maybe I made a mistake, but anyway, I got the domain name Torah Prophesy.com. So you can go to my website, and I encourage everyone here to write articles for the website. Anything you want to write about, I would love to. It's a news website, so if you want to put any thoughts you have about the redemption or about what's going on in the world, or uh, Lisa, you may want to write about the sky. I think Lisa's gone already, but yeah, all the links are below. Right. Thanks, Richard. Um, yeah, so that's it. We're pretty much. I still have 5 minutes, so you guys can. Right, but I don't I don't really prescribe to that theory. Like I don't. Oh, Lisa's still here. Okay, yeah. If you want to write an article about the what you see in the sky, maybe, and I have some pictures. I mean, I took some pictures of the checkerboards. It's unbelievable. I mean, those are not normal clouds. But anybody who wants to write for my website, I really, I would welcome it. And if you write a lot, I could, if we ever make any money from it, I would definitely share whatever we get. Uh, yeah. Uh huh. Right. Fairy tales. Yeah. I see that. It's really bad in California. Yeah. Why are the white hats letting this go on? That's what I don't understand. I guess it's the same thing with the medical thing. They can't do anything right now. They can't stop them. Adios, Richard. Thanks for stopping by, man. I'm glad you finally found it. Uh, Earthquake in California. They were talking about. I saw on the Dumbs channel that they were blowing up Dumbs off the coast of California. And I mean, I saw a thing. I put it on my Telegram channel, which is also below. I forwarded something from TikTok about this guy who was talking about that. You have to see it. Go to my Telegram channel. There's a thing from TikTok, and this guy is saying that if you can go into the dumbs at certain places in the world, there are holographic records of everything that went on in the earth. Wow, old nuclear plant. Wow. Yeah. I know, Bassman. I mean, it really does. I mean, I didn't even know these holes existed. I just, I really didn't get into Chumash until this book came out. This is the source. This is one of five, but uh, I couldn't. It didn't make sense to me. And now I understand why. It doesn't make sense. They're not wearing their masks. Yeah, I think people are waking up. I really think something's going to go down this week. Who was saying that they're going to shut down? But if they do shut down, that would be a sign that the white hats are in control and they're going to arrest all the bad boys. And the guy who was here before asked what the EBS, that's the emergency broadcasting system. They're saying that the real president will broadcast over the emergency broadcasting system, which could be, but I also think that he might just take over the other system. I don't know. A shutdown today is the rumor of the nation. That is so interesting. Yes, the 21st. And tomorrow is 12/22/21. So that's a very Kabbalah number. That would be the kind of day that the Kabbalah would try something. If you look at that number, it's an amazing number. 12/22/21. It's a mirror image on both sides. I don't know, Rob. I think there's something going on. I believe that there's been a huge military operation underground. And I think things are going on above ground too. So let's see. Okay, so what they're saying in the Tanya today is that a real holy person, does good just for the sake of the master, not for themselves. Like a son or daughter who does for his parents whom he loves. Yeah, I think you're right, Rob. Pray for the best, prepare for the worst. Well, I was given by my best friend's wife half a case of tuna fish. We have somebody gave us a turkey. We have a turkey in the freezer. I don't really like eating meat that much, but we have all kinds of beans. Who has good intel, Patricia? Yeah, we're in the book of Shemois, which means it translates to names. Why they call it Exodus, I don't know. How do you get from names to Exodus? I mean, I guess the action is really Exodus, but it's called names in Hebrew. A lot of spraying, yeah, in California. Um, right. I was gonna hook up Tara and Carla Joe, I think, because you both have like similar family members with similar concerns. I think that's the right matchup. Is it raining? No, it's not raining. It's not super cold, but it's cloudy. It's overcast. Kristen, okay, I'll check her out. That's the ex Playboy bunny, the sort of Oriental woman who talks to Used to talk to Michael Jaco. Yeah, you guys should do a live show. Absolutely. If you want to do something on my channel too, I'm open to it. I don't know what my channel's worth anymore with YouTube going after me. You could put it on if you want to put it on my Rumble channel. I'd be open to that too, if that helps you guys. That'd be great. Yeah, anything I can do to help, let me know. With me or with? Yeah, I'm okay with it. Whatever you want to do, Rob. I'm game. I'm good. I'm usually around the house. If I'm not in the house, I'm going for a bike ride. And that doesn't seem to be happening as often as it used to. He's in New Jersey. Okay, we could do something. I'm not sure how technologically to do that, but I'm sure you can figure that out. You're good with that. Or her news this morning, sometime something EBS soon. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. The time has come. Like we're getting very close. It just feels that way to me. Like something's about to happen because. And oh, by the way, I heard somebody say that it's not just the interest they're going to give you back. They're going to erase all debts. I don't know if Lisa was here, but if Lisa's still here, but they're saying like all debts are going to be gone. The IRS just took out money from my account this morning. I was not prepared for that, uh, but I'm on a payment plan, and yeah, you guys listen. Yeah, if anybody wants, you can always email me and say I want. So I want. Let's say Tara could email me and say I want Rob's email address, and I'll be glad to give it to you. Whatever you guys need in terms of that, so you can contact each other. And then I think soon, I think pretty soon I'm gonna like probably switch to Rumble or something else. All debt gone. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Please God. That would be nice, Patricia. Scaring them, yeah. Well, I did it for what's called shalom bias for because my wife is a very she's a very by the book person, and she freaked out when I got a couple of certified letters from the IRS, and I was just gonna like, but she was like, really, you got to do something about this, so I took care of it. But I put it on a payment plan, so yeah, I think the stock market's already crashed. Alternative Bitcoin. Yeah, I would stay away from Bitcoin. I would stick more with like Stellar and XRP, and maybe Solana and Algorand. I have a little Cardano. I'm not crazy about it, but it's okay. The RS still alive and well. Yeah, they're all. I heard something this morning about silver being a very good thing to get right now. It's very low comparatively. Silver, yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna take my congested self out of the picture now, and thanks for being here. We're gonna work these things out. I'm gonna I'm trying to figure out how to expand the channel. I'm really working with my friend from India. We're getting more aggressive with with the marketing the course, and I'm going to be speaking to somebody about getting an email list so that I could just shoot out an email and we could all meet on Zoom or something, which I think would be a lot better than having to play dodgeball with with YouTube. Yeah, I know. I think so. I think it's too late for me for weapons in New York City. The only weapon I could think of having would be a crossbow, and people are saying you should be careful because it could go through one person and go hit another one. Zoom, yeah. Well, okay, so I'm gonna try to do Zoom. That should be I should be operational by next week with Zoom, so we can do these classes on Zoom. It'll be a lot more fun. But I appreciate your patience, and also we'll be up. My regular channel will be up by I think the 24th or 25th, which is not far away. Anyway, oh yeah, just thanks so much, and we'll catch you soon. Take care of yourselves. Yeah, make sure you're ready for whatever comes, and I'll try to get my Zoom thing. I think I already have it. I just have to I have to play with it a little bit because you can do a lot with Zoom. You can share pictures. You can do videos. Yes, you're good with that kind of thing. I just my wife doesn't want me to have a weapon, so yeah, we'll see you Wednesday. We'll see you Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Okay, we'll see you guys Wednesday. I know I'm doing another Jewish goodbye. May the force be with you. God bless. Have a great day. I think, like, I just remember this saying: in the end, it's going to be good. If it's not good yet, it's not the end. Okay. God bless.